Good morning, guys. If you caught our last vlog, we have traveled from Bucharest, Romania to the heart of Transylvania to a beautiful mountain town called Brașov. We have had this on our list of places to visit since we first embarked on this journey at the end of last year, and after 18 countries in 7 months, we are finally here.
Stopping to get coffee was not on the agenda for today, so I threw Trey for a loop.
I opted against getting coffee this morning because right after this next stop, we are doing a crazy hike. Not crazy hike, but a hike nonetheless. We're climbing a mountain. But Hannah struggles to function without it. So we got our coffee and now we're headed to Council Square. If you're visiting Brasov, then probably your first stop here is gonna be Council Square. Back in the Middle Ages, this was an area for public trials and executions, and during the rule of communism, it was used as a parking lot in order to keep the locals from congregating. Thankfully, those days are long gone and you can enjoy this area at any point without the risk of death. We tried to get here early in the morning before everyone showed up, and it's still packed. But I will say later it's gonna be so much busier, so just come in the morning if you can, and then come back for dinner if you don't mind the crowds.
As I mentioned earlier, we have a very active morning planned. Here in Brasov, they have a huge Brasov sign at the top of Tâmpa Mountain, and unlike the Hollywood sign in California, you're actually able to visit this one. You can either take a tram on the way up or hike to the top. We're gonna do a hike up to the top, maybe we'll take the tram back down.
We're also gonna time the hike and see how long it takes us to get up to the top. I'm a little bit nervous. I just hate heights so much, and I keep doing this to myself, but I'd regret it so badly if we didn't climb to this sign.
All right, started.
Let's go.
Well, that was an unforgiving start. Straight uphill with steps. This isn't so bad.
Not terrible, no. It's much cooler back here.
Oh yeah, but I'm worried mosquitoes are like out and about. We probably should have put on some bug spray.
Yeah. 10 minutes in, and initial thoughts. It's not too bad. It's so shaded. It also reminds me so much of home with all the trees and the leaves. This is the first place we've been similar to home, so it's nice. It feels good.
I am surprised at how little people are on this trail. It looks like there's some sort of walking park, walking trail down at the bottom of the mountain. It's paved, so there's kids riding bikes and, you know, just things that families do. Also, if you use Google Maps, which we are, to get you on this hike, it is the one that looks very switchbacky. That's the one that we're on right now, but it does look like that there's one a little less steep. Trey just told me it's called the Serpentine Trail. So that's what it's called. Switchbacky Serpentine Trail.
It's basically the same thing, right?
Same thing. There's little markers that note which way to turn right here behind me, so that you know you're on the right path.
There are parts of this trail, while it is labeled as easy on All Trails, the app, it's definitely a little nervy if you're scared of heights. It's not terribly, I don't love this.
I do think at this point in our vlogging journey, we've established that Trey has a fear of heights, but if you have a friend or know someone that is scared of heights but is very desperately wanting to hike through Europe, you should send him our channel, because at this point, Trey will give you an honest review as someone who is scared of heights, what each hike is like.
One way or another, we are vertigoing up this mountain. I don't care. About 25, 30 minutes in. It's a little bit nervy. I can see now why people are like, don't hike this if it rains. So, for sure, definitely don't hike this if there's rain.
One other thing to note that we've noticed since we've been here about 2-3 days now is that there are sporadic storms here all the time. It just randomly opened up raining one day when we were going to get dinner. So make sure you have your rain jackets.
Woo. It's pretty down there though. This is such a beautiful town. Like, we're only staying in the old town. It's beautiful. I love the old area, the old town area of Brasov is just gorgeous.
Towards the top of this hike, naturally, the path is getting quite steep. And it's also getting much more rocky and just narrow. Anyone you pass on this trail, you're gonna have to stop and find a passing spot. There's not two people that can fit side by side safely on this part of the trail up here.
We made it to the top. How much time is on your stopwatch? 1 hour and 5 minutes. That includes about 10 minutes of stopping and chatting with people and drinking water, getting views, getting shots running back and forth. So an hour's not bad. So one thing of note, you're not gonna be able to see the Brasov sign, like the front of this Brasov sign, even if you hike up here and you stand on the edge. Honestly, the best view of the Brasov sign is from the ground. But it's still worth a hike. It's a total of about an hour. It took us like an hour. Some people do it faster, some people do it slower. We just do it to survive it. I will say though, this is a very good indicator of how big the town is. It's not as big as Bucharest, but there's so much more to this town than the old town. Our plan was to get celebratory beers up here, but they only take cash, and we have enough cash, I think, to get us down on the tram. This is much quicker. It's not wobbly at all. We were told that it was kind of wobbly. It's not wobbly at all. And just like that, we're back down the mountain.
That was so quick.
Yeah. A word of advice, if you're going to take the tram up, if you've got bad mobility, if you're scared of heights like I am, you want to get here really early. Like when the tram opens, go ahead and get here. We waited about 15 minutes at the top, and that had maybe a tenth of how many people are in line at the bottom.
My ears popped on the tram. Like that's how you know we were up like a million feet.
Mine popped twice.
Like,
what next, Hannah?
Next, we're getting celebratory beers down here.
So I got the Jaganoo Hazy IPA.
And I got the hop juice. This can is just so cute. It's got little blowfish. This looks beautiful. Oh my gosh.
Your salad looks incredible.
That was a great celebratory lunch. We'll be back to this place. I loved it.
Just near Council Square is a very large building that you're probably not gonna miss. It's called Biserica Neagra, or Black Church, but it's not actually black. It was given that name after a fire in 1689 which darkened the walls with smoke. Walk to the next spot from the Black Church is about 10 minutes, but thankfully there's some beauty on the way, like Catherine's Gate. Make sure to stop by it if you're walking through Brasov, because it's really pretty. We've walked over to see another church. It's called St. Nicholas Church, but honestly, there's no way we're gonna be able to film in here. This is more of like an in-operation type church. Also right next door right here is the first Romanian school, so that's really neat. We were able to go inside, but you can't film, you can't take pictures or anything like that, so we wanted to be respectful.
The art on top of the ceiling
yeah.
is just beautiful.
Yeah.
And there's also a little stand in there where it looks like you can purchase like holy oil, you can purchase little crosses, jewelry. There was a bottle of wine, so maybe some holy wine, I don't know.
You never know.
While we're walking back to the center of Old Town, because St. Nicholas Church is a little bit outside of it, we're gonna pass by one of the narrowest streets in Europe. We're gonna see if we can fit through it. That's the goal. String Street is 52 inches at the widest point and 44 inches at the most narrow point. And while it might seem more like a passageway than a street, it definitely served its purpose. For a while, it was the only way for firefighters to get through the tightly packed houses here in Brasov to every fire in the old town of the city. And now, as you can see, people can write their names on it, and we can also walk through the walls. Not through the walls, through the walls. And now we're right back in the center of Old Town, which, lucky for us, our Airbnb is right in the center. So we are going to go and get cleaned up because we probably should have after that hike this morning. And we're gonna go to dinner next. And we're back.
We originally planned to have traditional Romanian food when we were in Bucharest, but as you saw, that was an epic fail on my part, but no worries. The reviews online for CEAUN, which is where we are now, are very good, and I'll be honest, the pictures kind of sold me. So I'm not going to sit here and say that they're one of the best spots to eat or anything. It honestly just looks great in pictures, so I'm sure it's going to be good in real life. All right, time to try it.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm not just telling myself that. Oh my gosh, it's like a bread bowl from Panera.
I know that face.
There's so much flavor in this. This explodes. This is really good. I'm excited.
And I got the metete. I think that's how you say it. It's kind of similar to cevapi back in Bosnia. It looks really good. Feels like it tastes honestly like it just slow cooked for a long time. I don't know what this red sauce is. Yeah, it's delicious. And also, the fries are homemade too. They're like prepared Romanian style from what he told me. They're good. I've already tried one. Yeah, they're crunchy.
Dinner was delicious. I'm glad we got some traditional Romanian food. We'll probably do the same thing in Cluj-Napoca when we go there too, though, honestly.
We're currently trying to find a place to go. We're really doing this for the vlog.
Now, normally we try to end these vlogs with like a really cool beer garden or some gelato, but when you're in Romania, you kind of have to get this. This dessert that we're after is called kurtoscalacs or something like that.
So according to online, this is a spit cake made from sweet yeast dough, which a strip is spun and then wrapped around in a truncated cone shaped baking spit and rolled in granulated sugar. And it's roasted over charcoal while basted with melted butter until the surface cooks a golden brown. And we got the cinnamon one.
Yeah.
I'm done. It's gonna take 7 minutes to make, but it's made to order, and I don't mind waiting on sweets. Not one bit.
Bag has been secured. I think they call it kurtos for short, which is a lot easier to say.
Do I just go for it? It smells so good.
It smells incredible. But not that big, dude.
Oh. Are we kidding?
If you're from the States, then you've probably at least heard of the town of Gatlinburg, Tennessee. It's this small touristy mountain town that honestly has some pretty wacky tourist attractions, but it's absolutely adored by everybody in the South. Brasov gives me the same Gatlinburg vibes, but in the best way. It's easily walkable and has no shortage of beauty. Whether it's hiking, shopping, or adventure you're after, Brasov has it. The Old Town gives off this romantic, laid-back feel that makes you kind of forget that there's all these tourists around. It's the perfect place to just get away and unwind, and while I feel like we say this often with places, I can 100% guarantee we'll be back to Brasov. Only next time our stay is going to be much, much longer.